So that's now wired up in a sense that it's just a 24 volt system. That's happy it's 24 volts, but it's only kicking out 20 volts. So it can't charge it properly. You tell me if that leaks. That's not leaked out, so we just unravel the gasket. It's hard work this on your own. So hard work, man. Right, I think a bit of tidy up time is required here. Yeah, still got this diesel heater we need to fit properly, but the back wheels need to come off for me to sort that out. A task for another day. I don't fancy lifting wheels about it. I've got a few things I want to take home. One, this temperature gauge. We'll do a test at home with this to make sure A, this works. I do have a 24 volt power supply at home and an ungodly amount of wire, so we can test to see whether this works. Now, the way we're going to test to see if that works is, have I taken? So I want to get that out. So the way I'm going to test this is quite simply putting it in the sink in hot water or running hot water, and then as it runs, hopefully the temp gauge will read a different measurement. All it's doing is moving about. Might actually have to attach this back to the engine block because the engine block is heavy in order to actually get the sucker off. That should be on enough that I've got enough applying pressure. Right, so that should technically have some resistance, and then when placed in hot water, the resistance should change. The other one I'll check is the other one that's in the back to make sure that at 100 degrees that pops. I'm sure Natalie will be very impressed that I'll be using a sink for this matter. So we got that we need to take home, that we need to take home, and the other one is this one. Now this one might actually do the engine temperature, but I don't think it does. I think this one is purely hot water, but it's got 3 things on it, so hopefully cleaned up I can find the part number, and then that should bring some plans back there. That engine block is, to be fair, pretty much done. I could put this back on, which that just needs cleaning. That's here. Let me put some gloves on, give me a second. I bet the gloves are still outside. They are. Give me a second. Can't stop here because if I stop here... Editor, cut this bit. So all we need out the gasket kit at the front is the gasket for this, but this needs to be cleaned up. I bet my little metal tub's still outside in it. Now this I could clean up, to be all fairness with you, quite quickly with this wire brush. That's just old oil, which I'm not bothered about now. I think we're just sort of at this point now where we want it back together. The top, however, I am going to do, and I'm going to spray some WD on it, in the aim of loosening up some of the oil. An improvement. So, I now need to have a look at some, because this can sit either way round. I think that is the right way round, but I'm going to quickly jump on the old Chromebook, have a look and see if the direction it went, we can get that on apart from one bolt which was snapped. I should be able to get that on, and if I've got the gaskets for it, which we should have because we've got the entire top end gaskets. That's the right way round, because that electrical connector is back here. When this head goes in, that's the back of the bus, that's the front of the bus. So that's the right way round. Let's go get some gaskets and see if we've got the right ones. Woo! So I hope the gasket we need is in here. Looks like it is. I think I can see it. I think it's there. It's a nice seal. That there. That's nicely sealed. That goes that way round, like so. Like these, put one in each corner. Then hold it all together. I'm a good few bolts missing, but they will have just been dropped on the floor, so they won't be too far away. We'll find them. If not, we can get replacements. They're only standard bolts with a bit of a flange head. Yeah, them two rectangular ones are for that, so chuck them away. There should be a tub somewhere which has bolts for that in it. The bucket I use for the ATF oil is the same bucket that the screws were soaking in. Not a problem. Let me swap gloves again. So in this packet, so I imagine that the round one is for that. So we need one on there. They do go a certain way round. That one on there. Then that one on there. And then I believe that faces the back of the engine. Yes, it does. One of them in there. I've just put my hand in all that ATF oil. Second one. Well, hey, right, we're back. The camera died, so apologies, but you missed me finishing putting that on. That's on new gaskets, that's on new gaskets. This bracket here, I'm going to go get out the box now. I'm going to put that back on. The only reason I took that off was to clean the head down, and then we get in there. So, this bracket just goes on here like so. No real way to mess this one up. They're going to be, I can just see it, they're 13mm. We'll have to do these up by spanner. I mean, this bracket still needs a bit of a clean, but if I put tissue over that, if I actually remember to bring some, it'll be fine. The head came out with this on, so it should go back in with it on. We did take the head out with that off, but obviously that's lower than this, so. So we are actually getting stuff back together now, which is quite good. Sealed O-ring, rectangular, washer seal, sealing, isolate noise. The only thing I can't see is exhaust gaskets. Oh, I bet that other gasket's for there. It'll break out one way or another. Well, the screw's not part of it anymore. Go. That's that off. And there, this should just come off. It looks better. Look at my hands, man. Trying to avoid this. Okay. That's that way round. So now I just need to get it actually on the bus. That's the short one. They're the two long ones. So if we put it like that. So that's had all its new seals on. There we go. That's the thermostat housing that. So that's all done. I missed a bit there. So now I can look at actually getting the top one off to put the other O-ring in, which is this one here. But I've got a feeling I'm going to need the big bar and a 10mm socket on that instead. That on there. That on there. Put on. On there. No, should have enough now to be able to whack it off. Oh god. There was a gasket on this at one point in its life. Wow. Wow. Yeah, one point in its life. There's me thinking this would be an off and on job. How wrong could you be? You can see the gasket is still there. Before anyone points out that many of you have done, I know it's not the right way to do it. Fitting on the neck can be sorted out once it's back on. So this gasket here, take it to that. We've got new copper washers in there. Made in India. That's how you know it's quality. Right, so that's all that back on. All the seals there done. Seals there done. So thermostat housing's back up and running. We're laughing. No. Rightio. So I think it's tidy up time now. So I'm gonna don some gloves and tidy up. You won't believe it that this floor back here was clean before we started on this. I don't mean started today, I mean started the engine work. It was actually clean. So we're back to sort of like an organised mess. Just got to get the tools from outside and then we should be good to wrap it up for the day. Well, it's time to go home. Just got to get the Jenny in and that's it. Everything else is packed up. We're looking a lot better. We've made quite a bit of progress this week. I say head's virtually ready to go back on the bus. We just need to do in there, which isn't a problem. We've messed about with that a bit more. Oil sump's back on, so we can hold oil again. So we're getting there. If you've liked the content, like what you see, please do like the video. If you want to keep up to date with what we're doing, subscribe. You can head over to our blog, mountainbuses.com as well, where you'll find stuff on there. We do have a little shop available where you can get merch from. That's merch.mountainbuses.com, or press shop on the website. We have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just follow us. It all makes a massive difference, and subscribing on YouTube makes a big difference as well. If you want to support us, you can become a member from as little as 99p on YouTube, and there are many tiers to choose from, and each one gets you a different set of perks, including early access to the week's videos, which gets you at least 24 hours early access. We aim for 7 days, but 24 is the minimum. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
You can now find us on Facebook, YouTube, Patreon, Twitter and Instagram. Hashtag MountBuses. Find us at mountbuses.com. MountBuses, we're sorting scrap.